lounging, son.
Right. Welcome back to the Comic Lounge. My name is Ryan, and back with me today, but doing something a little bit different, is my buddy Dr. Ben Anthony. I've had him on the channel for, we were promoting Weapon X, and I did an indie creator spotlight with him. And, you know, we developed a friendship over the CKRS group on Facebook, and I reached out, wanted to, you know, get some guest hosts on here to talk about some books that we both like. And we had mentioned Prophet, I think, maybe in our chat, I don't know, but somehow it came up. So I thought it'd be cool to talk about Brandon Graham's Prophet. Plus right next to it, you got, you know, the man, Liefeld. You got Youngblood too, first appearance. So welcome, dude. Welcome back to the show.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. Like, I think we had talked about Prophet before when we were figuring out that story in Darkest Image one.
Yes. Okay, that's it. So it was after we were done recording.
Yeah,
we were
like trying to figure out what we were going to do.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I love Brandon Graham's like Prophet, Relaunch, or whatever you want to call it. Like, then like ended up doing whatever the Death Blow prelude with.
Well, if there's a Darkest Image 3, I'll fucking force myself to just like stop procrastinating and do something, because I'd love to still collaborate with you. So
right on. Well, shit, I had written notes, and like God knows like where they went. What, you know, like you read the we both reread this the Relaunch of Prophet,
right, the first volume, right? So like for me, I had just discovered this. I think you had mentioned it, and I kind of knew about the book, but hadn't read it until you said you wanted to do a story. So it's only been about a year since I first read the volume, right? And I knew about Prophet, obviously, because I love early Image. I don't think that that's a surprise to anybody. And, you know, I had my Youngblood too, and I reread that multiple times. And, you know, earlier this year for Image's 30th anniversary, I did an episode on the first volume of Youngblood. So, but it's definitely not that version of Prophet, you know, that Brandon Graham gives us, but it's so unique in and of itself. And it's such a departure from what we got, but it still has like the bones, I think, of what Liefeld did, like A Man Out of Time, right?
Right. Like it's definitely like, it takes like part of that story where, you know, he's like this soldier, because what, like in the Liefeld stuff, like he was like a World War II soldier or something too.
Yeah, he's a World War II soldier, I believe, in Liefeld's.
Right.
And then Dan Panosian, right, and Dan Panosian, and then obviously Stephen Platt, they all put their stamp on it too. But this, like, I had no expectations when I picked up the volume the first time. It's nothing like what I, you know, would have expected.
Right, because that's the John Prophet that wakes up here.
Right.
Or like, are we gonna, I guess it doesn't matter if we do spoilers, does it? Like, there's
no, I mean, if you haven't, well, yeah, if you haven't read it and you don't want to be spoiled, you probably want to turn this off. But if you don't mind spoilers and you want a reason to want to pick this up, this, you know, just keep watching along, because I mean, it's been out since 2012. It's 10 years.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's over 5 years, like it just doesn't.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? There's other prophets, you know, and like I don't know if like Liefeld had like explored that in like the original stuff with like Platt and Dan Panosian and everybody. Like I have all those, but like I can't.
I did read, so he has 2 volumes, right? He has the one with Dan Panosian where Stephen Platt comes in, I think, with issue 5, and then they relaunch it again, and there's another #1 with Stephen Platt. I think Chuck Dixon was writing some of it too at one point. Yeah. So I haven't read all that stuff. I read the entire first volume of Prophet with Liefeld, Panosian, and Platt, but I don't remember any of this kind of stuff. I mean, this may look like this is an alien planet that, you know, that Ben's flipping through, but this is Earth in the future, right? Like decades, maybe centuries,
like thousands of years.
Yeah, like it doesn't really have a set time. It just says in the far distant future, right?
Right, and like everything's all. That's what I liked about it too, is it doesn't really explain it, so it definitely does give you that just like, I don't know, like apocalypse, sort of just like barbarians kind of almost like this sort of like, I think of like Mad Max or something, like Mad Max and whatchamacallit, Conan or something.
Yeah, but it also makes you feel like you're in the same position as this version of Prophet, because he's waking up not knowing what the fuck's going on either. So just like him, the reader has no idea what are we looking at? What is this fucking alien creature that is attacking him? And he just wakes up ready to fucking to maim and kill.
That is like one of the things that I loved in this was like after he wakes up, he kills that thing, and then like he has like an inventory panel. Like,
yeah, I love that. I like that kind of stuff too. Yeah, I really do that.
That was like if you ever saw like the original ad for Metal Gear, like for the Nintendo.
Yes.
It was just like this page exactly like this of just like all the shit that that Snake would have. And so that's what I'm saying. Like you start off and it's just like it's like a compelling story. It's like you want to figure out like what's going on. He fights a wolf pack with parasites on their brain or something. Like
I know, it's gnarly.
Him like eating all this stuff. Like that's the other thing that like I all through it is like him eating. Like there's always the scenes like him fighting stuff, but then it always goes to like him eating stuff.
Yeah, and the fucking just the thought and planning that Brandon Graham did for this book. Like there's maps and stuff in the back. I mean, at least in the trade paperback, I don't know how it is in the single issues, but he maps stuff out. The world building is very strong in this. Like to us as the reader, we don't necessarily know what's going on, but reading it, I didn't get the feeling that he was making it up on the fly. Like he definitely knew what he was doing and where he was going, at least from my perspective. I always felt that, I just felt like I need to catch up to him and where he's at in his thought process of what's going on and what this future entails. And eventually like there's different John Prophets, there's fucking clones and shit. Like it gets really gets out there, a sexual encounter he has with some weird alien, it's just like,
oh yeah, that was the part, like because like up because this is up until like here, like he sees that like humans have been like de-evolved or something, like civilization, or maybe it's not humans, I don't know, it says civilization but not human and not part of his mission. All the smells and sights of a Naka meat farm. Like that's my thought was that was supposed to be like humans like de-evolved like thousands of years in the future or something.
Yeah,
sort of like like Planet of the Apes, definitely. Like that's definitely what I thought. I don't know, it's just like, and like I'm reading it and like picking up like all these different, I was just like, holy shit, there's farms of like they're turning these things into meat, and then this whole like that's like this giant, what they call it, Gel City. It's like some sort of giant
yeah, it's just it's fucking like it's the most sci-fi book that I've read in a long time.
Yeah, it's filled with all these, I can't remember what these things are called.
Are you talking about those pods?
Yeah, just these alien things, whatever these guys are called. I can't remember. It just called, like it says, like a hive market. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like it's just, that's what I love about sci-fi is like so much of it is like you can't explain like if you think of like the first like Aliens movie, you know what I mean? Like what the hell? It's like they stumble onto like an entirely different storyline with something going on, and their interaction is just being picking up this alien virus that turns into chest bursters and xenomorphs and stuff, and it's like that's just a part of like some other story going on, with thousands of years with that guy with the telescope or whatever that thing is, that giant alien. You know what I mean? That's what this has, that feel of just like there's this whole world, like you're saying, that's been, he's been like really like plotted out, and like, you don't have to understand what Gel City, where is it from? Like none of that even matters. You know what I mean? It's just
it's like this is what we're given,
right?
And you just gotta fucking like just take the ride, because like I read it for a second. This is the second time in the year that I read it, and I still found myself like, what the fuck am I actually like? What am I reading? But I just like, and it was only like with the first issue, I think, within this trade where I'm like that. I'm like, I just gotta fucking just immerse myself in this insanity that I'm looking at. you know, and like the dull mantle, that sack that goes over him that like will heal and stuff. Like, I don't even know how you think of something like that, you know, like, and then like I said, with that encounter that he has with that alien.
Right. That's,
and then
like
she,
the way he does that is like the funniest thing, I think. Like he meets this other alien that's his contact to find out. It's like, you've come with information, I've brought with me your mission, but first mate with me, human. And does she like make like a swipe at him or something? Like,
I know that she cuts out.
And then the next page is like her lighting up a cigarette or something.
Yeah.
And you know, him pulling his suit back on, and then you know, having something snack to eat or whatever. Like,
right. And then she like throws him down and she cuts out the part that helps reproduce and then seals him back up.
Well, that, oh, okay, yeah, that's
like, I think I glossed over that the first time I read it, because when I read it this time, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't notice that last time when I was reading it. But I must have just like not been paying attention to that specific panel.
Organ needed for her race to produce offspring. She later received a wound, so now reminds John of the meat from the Unaka farm. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just, and this is just like him finding out like what he's supposed to do now. And I don't know if it tells all of them. Oh yeah, she says that he has to go find the satellite, your God satellite. You must travel east to scale the towers of Falu.
Yeah.
Oh, Faluva, and restart this God and awaken the Earth Empire. And like when I reread it this time, like it really struck me like how much that reminded me of like of Conan, of the Conan movie, where, you know, he's got to go and travel to the temple of Tulsa Doom or whatever. And it was just like, oh wow, because like I remember like when it came out, people were like, it's like Conan in space. And I was just like, I was getting it because like I kind of thought that the way he draws him in this first one, it's who is it?
Simon Roy, right? I think.
Yeah, Simon Roy.
Yeah. Like
has like that barbarian, like it kind of looks like a Bushima, like Conan almost. That's what
I do get that vibe, yeah.
And then it's like, oh shit, he's got to like go on this epic quest to like these towers and gods and all this. Oh, okay, I get it. And then it's almost, then like that's what I mean, like rereading it, like east to the towers of the Luva. That, you know what I mean? Like it gives you that feel of like you know, just like an epic quest. And I was just like, oh, okay, now I get it. Okay.
Yeah, I like it because it has technology, like there is like some like really futuristic technology, but it does feel like it's like taken down to the bare bones of like, he's not like, it's not like he's just flying on a ship. You know what I mean? Like he's traversing this fucking futuristic Earth and doesn't really have much in the way of like technological. I mean, he has that fucking blue sack that's like over him, right? The dull mantle. Yeah. And I love the artists in here, because like we said, you know, Simon Roy's the artist on the first 3 chapters. Right. Then we got Farel Dalrymple on the 4th chapter. Brandon Graham does the 5th, and then the 6th is Giannis, Milonogiannis, I think is how you say his name. But all the art is just fantastic in here, and it never feels, I just want to say it before I forget, but it never feels like jarring, the different art styles. I feel like they flow really well with one another.
Right. No, that's what I definitely, I completely agree. Like it's just like, you know, the first one is, you know, Simon Roy, and that's what we said, the first 3 issues.
Yeah.
It's another one. And they all follow. I can't remember if this one starts introducing the story of any of the other John prophets. I don't think it does. I think
that's later.
I think this one is all, it's like the first 3 are all just about him. Yeah,
I think you like start to learn, right, that there's other John prophets on all these other different planets, right? I mean that's what I take from it.
Yeah, the one that we're 24, so that's, I guess, is in the trade paperback, is it listed as like chapters? Is that how they divide it? Like,
yeah, so it's divided by issues.
Okay. Does it have any of like the additional stuff that was in the comics?
It
or
does.
no?
I mean, I don't know what was in the comics except like I mentioned, I didn't know that the map was in the back, but the first issue you just showed me in the back of that had the map. Then there's a story by Emma Rios, but I don't know where that comes from. And then there's like a bunch of like his sketch work and like the design from the different artists, but not a ton. I don't know what else you have in the back for in terms of back
Yeah,
matter.
'cause that was one of the other things I really liked was he would put like other artists in there, right? And it was with the second issue. So like the first one was 21, this is 22. And then he started just including like other artists that like were completely unrelated to
Oh, well, yeah, I don't have that one.
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like it was like just more comics, more like sci-fi comics. This is like Zooniverse by Phil Barlow. And so like because of that, like I've been every time I'm out like digging in quarter bins, you know, like I go and there's like all these a whole series of Zooniverse from Eclipse, right? They're all by it's like this is just one of my favorite comics.
Is it by that artist?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is from 86.
Oh wow, okay. That's pretty dope that he brought. I wouldn't even have known to look for that. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I gotta check that
That's
out.
what I'm saying. It was like because of this, I was like, Phil Barlow, okay, I'll check it out. Like, and it's just like it's it's fun like sci-fi stuff. Like,
Yeah, I love that art style. I mean, that just shows you why people should be, buy the single issues, because you don't necessarily get all this stuff when you get the trade. I mean, I think that now, especially with the movie announcement, this particular run, at least the beginning of it, I think might have gone up a little bit in value. So
right.
it was more cost effective to get the trade, but I usually will always go for getting the single issues as opposed to getting the trade, because you do lose some of the stuff, like especially like Brubaker and Phillips, like they put so much back matter in their stuff with essays and fucking the letters stuff.
Like he has all those like just like essays about different like noir movies.
Yeah. Oh, I loved this issue too. This is the one by I think Giannis, Milonogiannis. I think that's the last issue of the trade. Is that issue 26?
25.
That's 25. Okay.
Then 26 is the one that that Graham does, which like I was like that was
oh weird. So they put it out of order. They put 25 before 26 in the trade. That's why I thought that was the last issue.
They put 26 before 25, you mean? Like
yeah, they put 26 before 25. So in the trade, that Brandon Graham issue takes place before what we get with this issue that you have on the screen right now.
Right, because there's 24 with Farel Dalrymple.
Yeah.
And then you're saying the next one is the one by Graham.
Yeah. In the trade, yeah.
And then this is like the last issue of the trade.
That's like the last panel. Yeah, when you see Prophet get his head thing for his,
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. Oh, what's that, dude? Another backup?
That's what I'm saying. Like in every issue, then it has like just random stuff. This is Initiate Part 2, Boaz by Frank Tarrant. Like
that art is amazing. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like it was just the coolest thing just to see like just all kinds of just comics. Like because I think up until that point I'd kind of like written off sci-fi comics as like Star Wars and Star Trek and just like not being like, not that those aren't good, but you know what I'm saying? Like
I feel you.
Just something I wasn't interested in.
Yeah, like I wasn't interested in a lot of those genres, like sci-fi, fantasy, and people may disagree with me when I mention this, but when CrossGen came out, I dug a lot of the books that they did. I know that they had it where it all connected with this like sigil that every, the main character of all these stories had, which would give them different type of powers, but it made me branch out into different genres because they had everything. They had sword and sorcery, they had sci-fi, they had fantasy, they had horror, they had every single thing. Like Mark Waid and Butch Geist did this book called Ruse, that was like a Sherlock Holmes type type book set in like Victorian England.
Right.
So that's kind of what I've been missing for years, you know, because like once that ended, and I know that there's a whole bunch of shit that's associated with that in terms of how they ended and the, you know, the owner or whatever, but it did make me branch out, and I didn't find many sci-fi books that I liked because, like you said, it's just always felt like a derivative of Star Wars or Star Trek. Like they're just trying to play into those tropes, even though those movies themselves and those shows play into the tropes too, you know. But this was like full blown, like that's why I said it's like the best sci-fi thing I've read in a long time, and it came out 10 years ago. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, because all of it is just, I think it might be, I can't remember which issue it is, but there's a part where he sort of like, he ties it back into like Youngblood, like we see like,
you told me that, yeah, with Badrock is in it, right?
Badrock's son or something, and then later on in the issues, like, because it goes up to like 39 or 40 or something, like there's a scene where it like flashes to like Blood Wolf and a bunch of like futuristic like Youngblood members, and I think it's Badrock is in that too, and it's like a scene of them in a cafeteria like about to like argue or something. It's just like, you know, I liked it because it ties into that. I think there's a thing with what was it Die Hard was the android in Youngblood?
Yeah. Die Hard was,
I think there's something that ties in with him a little bit too.
Yeah, like I haven't read past the first volume, so and I know like I have 2, 3, and 5 at the shop. I was gonna pick it up yesterday and I just completely spaced on it. So I want to get those, and then I'll buy book 4 before I start reading through, because I just want to read through the rest of the series. You know, it just got me reading it again for the second time in less than a year, just got me amped to see how it all ends.
I was gonna say, so that's like Badrock's son, Brain Rock.
Oh, is that what that is? Okay.
Yeah.
Weird, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he's become a planet. Like, just like what? Like that, which I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like it ties in like so much like sci-fi stuff, but then like it's the same thing in comics, like in Marvel, there's like Ego the Living Planet. Like,
right.
I always thought that was just like the craziest idea of just like this huge, just a planet. It's just,
yeah, it is. It's a weird concept, and I think I think what Brandon Graham does that's really, really smart is that he did break away completely, kind of, you know, from everything that came before. And then I mean, like you said, it does connect towards the end, but that was a smart way to kind of not alienate new readers from checking the book out, right? Because like, well, what if they just say, oh, this is just, you know, you're just remaking 90s comics, you know, and a lot of people have like some sort of stigma there, or there's a group of fans that have a stigma towards that kind of stuff. So he broke away from it, but then also appeased, I think, some of the older fans with stuff that you're saying he connects.
That's what I'm saying, because I mean, you know, that's just like a 180.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Go back to like the original Prophet, and I mean, I didn't bring out any of my Stephen Platts. I've got the first one by Pan-Ocean here, just to kind of like show like,
yeah, the evolution of the,
right,
yeah,
because that was like, it was like he was in Youngblood 2, and then I don't think he was in issue 3. I don't remember.
No, issue
and then this came out like, you know, a few months later or whatever,
right?
And like I definitely dug like the whole cape and like hooded cape thing.
Yeah, I mean, I love all this stuff. I love 90s.
That's what I'm saying. But I mean, it's just like such a complete, you know, because like in all the rest of in this relaunch of it, you know, it's not as action packed, I would say, you know what I mean? Like all the action isn't this like hyper extreme, over exaggerated, you know, it's all, you know, more like a quiet sci-fi. But then when it has like fights and stuff in the Brandon Graham issues, they're like more impactful or something, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I feel like it doesn't feel like so much of a departure that you can't enjoy it if you enjoyed the original stuff, you know?
Right.
Because
No,
because it, like I said, it has the bones of like what and who John Prophet is. It just it takes it in a different direction.
I keep on looking at this. Giannis, Milonogiannis. I'm not sure on how you say that.
I think it's Giannis, Giannis. I think Milonogiannis. I don't know. I could be completely pronouncing it wrong. The only reason I know it's Giannis is because of Giannis Antetokounmpo basketball. That's I know that's how you pronounce that name.
I looked it up and I could not figure it out. Like looking online, I couldn't find. I'm not good at searching online sometimes though, but the art here, like,
yeah, I love his style, dude. And I just discovered, like, before I read this Prophet, I discovered him on he did a future state Gotham book, and I had seen the art online because it was in black and white, and I was like, holy shit, DC's just gonna put out a black and white book. That's dope. And it's not like, you know, Batman black and white. And so like, and he had like this anime style, and it kind of felt like Akira meets Gotham, you know? And so I fucking dug his style, and then I found out he was on this, and yeah, I think he's a really dope artist for sure. He's got a really like intricate style. You know, I love the way he renders.
I think that might be the like maybe like this sort of like binding thing between all of them, is that all of them have this real intricate style, you know what I mean? Like everything has got, you know, it's like they're not cheating on like any of the backgrounds, you know what I'm saying? It's like every panel is like you're seeing everything that's going on, you know?
Yeah, I love that about where comics has got, you know, because there used to be not as much rendering, and I don't like stuff when it's over rendered, but I also don't like feeling like sometimes I'm cheated a little bit. Like it helps build the scene, you know, in your mind, where you don't have to like build it out yourself, you know, like you I don't know how else to describe it other than that.
That's what I mean. It puts you entirely in the story, you know, because like all these little details that, like, you know, like who's like thinking I'm gonna draw comics because I want to draw like a rat
yeah
or whatever, or like I want to draw a shade and a table, you know what I'm saying? Like you're thinking like I'm gonna draw comics because I want to draw, you know, freaking Prophet like jumping around, you know. But it's like all of these, when you put in like all these extra details, it sells the story so much more. And that's the totally thing, is like, because this is issue 24 by Dalrymple there, and it's like it continues that just really detailed.
Yeah, this part right here, dude, with the top, the left page, right corner. Yeah, that fucking his head is just.
Yeah, it's been mutated in space radiation or something, like. Yeah, so that's one of the, you know, it's one of these other prophets, because it's when he restarted that satellite or whatever, that's what like awakened all, you know, all these different John prophets throughout the galaxy or universe or whatever. But like, oh my gosh, like it's just great. And this suit that he gets.
Yeah, I know it's all over the place, but it's just that's what I love about it, is that there's so many different concepts that he introduces. Like, I want to see his notebooks, like of all his ideas. Like, I would love to pick his brain about where his head was at when he was coming up with all this crazy, insane shit.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like these cityscapes in here.
Oh, dude, amazing.
And just like every page, that's what I'm saying. It's like you're just overwhelmed by it, and then it's like you're like reading it, and it's like it still has this whole story going. So it's like, that's what I'm saying, it just completely draws you into it. Like,
yeah, it has a crazy cinematic scope to it, you know, like the widescreen panel like this, like what you're showing here, or when it's the cityscape, you know, even just the one panel on the page, just that overview of the city and what you're seeing. You may get a panel where it's just the person's head with like minimal background, but on that same page you have a completely rendered cityscape.
I get the glare off of there, you know, it's like this whole like city made out of crystals or something or other, like,
right.
and it's all in there. That's what I'm saying. That's what like blows me away, is it's every page is like this. Like it's fantastic. It's fantastic. So
yeah, I'm super stoked to fucking finish off this run. You know, like I wish I would have gotten the other trades before I started reading one again for the episode with you, because I put it down and I'm like, God damn it, you know, like, and I knew I wasn't gonna go to work for a couple of days at the shop, and then I went and I still forgot. So, but this weekend definitely picking up the rest of it, because I really want to see like where he takes, because you know, based on like the last issue, that last page of the trade is
right on the
is Giannis's page, where Prophet gets the headdress on, he puts the headdress on his head and he's just like kneeling. I mean, that's just how the trade ends, you know. I don't know why they put it out of order. Yeah, like this is the last thing you see, and like if that doesn't get you fucking pumped for what's coming next, you know, like I was like, God damn it, I need to see what happens after this.
Yeah, I mean that is the thing, is like I don't know if I think there's a couple issues that like I'm missing, but like, you know, I've got all the.
Oh yeah, you've got a good chunk of it, yeah.
And that is the thing too, is like all of them continue that thing of putting other comics in the back of it, like, so it's like every month, you know, you'd get like another.
It's another Giannis one.
Right, they started, I think, in a couple of these issues in the first volume, I think they were starting to plot them together, but like it was like the longer the way they were doing it, the more they were, you know, all like really taking a hand at like,
that's pretty cool.
The story. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so I mean, it was just,
damn, look at that fucking splash. All right.
Oh my bad.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's the other volumes are just, you know, like more of the same, more like these insane.
Yeah, I can't. I'm going to the shop.
Yeah.
I gotta finish.
Get another.
Yeah, I need another little taste of this world, dude, because it really is. It's cool that Liefeld brought in or allowed all these creators to come and play with his world of characters, you know, and. Yeah. I'd love to see that. I mean, I'd love to see them back again. I was hoping like for the 30th anniversary, maybe we would have gotten to see a little bit more of this kind of stuff, you know, because this obviously came out in 2012. That's the 20th anniversary of Image. So I was holding out hope that like, okay, maybe we'll see something like that. Like I know he's done the facsimiles of Prophet #1, Bloodstrike #1. He's got a bunch of artists coming in to redo Prophet 1. Like Ed Piskor's doing a page or two. Jim Ruggs doing some
Delgado
stuff.
Doing a page, Kevin Delgado.
Yeah. Like, I mean, that's awesome, dude. You know, like to get to see these other artists like interpret a single issue of a book. I dig that kind of stuff, you know? So
that's the other thing, is that like, what is it this year or is it next year that the actual like Prophet movie comes out with
I don't know when he talks about it on his podcast, but I don't know if it's actually in production yet. I know that they have the director, they have Jake Gyllenhaal.
Okay.
But they haven't like I haven't seen like that the filming has started. But I'm kind of curious to see, like, I feel like they're going to probably lean more into this type of stuff. You know, I mean, not to say that they're going to completely bypass Liefeld stuff, but
the thing too is like I have to wonder like it's just going to be insane to see it. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it's,
and good for him, dude, to get to see his own creation. You know that, well, something he owns is what I meant to say, because he did get to see his creations come to the big screen. He got to see Deadpool, Cable, Domino, all that, X-Force. But to be able to see something that came from his mind and that he owns, that's pretty dope, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, he's the only other Image partner besides Todd who got that 90s Spawn movie.
And they're working on a new Spawn movie too, right?
Right.
13-year-old me back in the 90s would be just losing their mind. Like,
I know when I was younger, dude, like if you would have told me that there was going to be a point in time where there was multiple comic book movies coming out a year, I would have
Right.
told you were fucking crazy. You know, if you would have told me that people were not going to make fun of you for reading comic books or think that you were a nerd for reading comics, and some people still do, but it's way more accepted in pop culture than when we were coming up, you know, when we were reading comic books.
That's what I mean. Like, it blows my mind. Like, everyone knows what the Infinity Gauntlet is, and Thanos, and like,
Yeah, it's weird.
Like everyone knows what that is.
Yeah,
it was like, and I mean, that was definitely like, that was when I really first got into comics, was like just when the Infinity Gauntlet like comic came out, right?
Okay.
I was Silver Surfer and Captain America, and it was like, I saw, you know, I got to like get all the issues when it came out, and like all the crossover issues and stuff, and I was just like, oh my god, half of everyone is gone. This is how it is now. I guess we canceling all these comics. Holy jeez.
Yeah. You know what really trips me out is that people know what the fuck the multiverse is now. Right. You know, people are like, oh yeah, the multiverse. Like, motherfucker, I've been knowing about the multiverse since I was fucking
That's
little
what
kid.
I'm saying.
You know?
Like, it's just like this stuff that you were like, you know, all your life, you're like, these are mine. This is just my stuff. You know, all the other people don't get to know about the Infinity Gauntlet and the multiverse and Doctor Strange, and then it's like now, like, everyone is like, and I mean, it's cool. Like, you know what I mean? It is like cool. It's not like I'm like, it's, you know, they can't, but it's just like, it's so like just surreal. Probably the same way like when the first Superman movie came out, you know, like, right? Well, I don't know, because they had the show back before then too.
Yeah, so I mean, this was a blast, dude. I'm really glad we did this, because it's always nice talking, you know, like I have you know, I've had you on, like we're talking like about you, your art, how you get into comics, but I just, you know, it's fun talking comic books with other people, you know, except besides just, you know, the usual people that I have co-hosting with me. So I'm really glad you jumped on today, dude.
Yeah, I gotta show off too. You know, I got the my copies of Wizard 2 finally. Like,
I know, I'm pretty stoked that I was actually that I actually had an interview in it and an article in it. And once I got that in the mail, that's when I threw up.
It broke the presses when they at the bindery. It broke the bindery.
What a great story too. You know, like there was too much awesomeness in it. That's why. You know,
this thing is it's just a monster.
It's a beast. It is a beast, and
has all the energy from the '90s and all the way to now in comics. Just
oh yeah, right there. 420 pages of insanity, and it motivated me to like start the hip hop zine / book that I wanted to do. You know, so. Now and then also like it's just seeing my name printed in something makes me want to do more.
Oh yeah, it's like you gotta do more. Like you gotta get like, I know what you're saying. Like, I started doing like comic interviews like 10, 11 years ago or whatever, and it was just like I just like talking to like other creators. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I love talking comic books with everybody, because I went years and years. When I was younger, like nobody else that I knew liked fucking comics, you know? So now I'll talk it all day, every day. So thank you for fucking coming on and talking profit with me. I think you and I have already talked about wanting to do some more videos. So we're definitely going to do that. And for everybody listening and watching, make sure you follow Dr. Ben Anthony on social media. I'm going to drop his links down below so you can find him. Make sure you follow The Comic Lounge on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at The Comic Lounge, and you know, like, follow, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you're notified every time a new vid goes up. And on that note, we're out.